Hi, I'm Michael Sinoff, founder and CEO of HardToFindSeminars.com. For the last 5 years, I've interviewed the world's best business and marketing minds. Now my challenge is to build the world's largest free resource for online, downloadable audio business interviews. I've learned a lot in the last 5 years, and today I'm going to show you the skills you need to survive.
Price buyers, most expensive customer in your shop. They take all your sales time. They do all the complaining. They forget to pay you. They tell everybody else how little they pay you. They drive off your good customers.
Hi, this is Michael Sinoff with Michael Sinoff's HardToFindSeminars.com. Get ready. Here's another 1-hour audio interview with the pricing expert. The price of your product or service is one of the most important decisions you'll make for your business. And unfortunately, most people, just like you, act like sheep when pricing their product. They instinctively look and copy what their competition is doing. In this interview, you'll learn why this method is the absolutely worst thing you can do when determining price for your product or service. You're going to hear from Larry, a strategic pricing expert. Larry specializes in sales and marketing training with a primary focus on selling at prices higher than your competition and maintaining profitable margins for your company. Larry is a PhD and former professor who has become famous for his work in getting profitable results in business. His specialty is in the area of how to successfully raise prices and maintain high profit margins. Larry has educated hundreds of thousands of businesses, both in public and private seminars, and is considered one of the nation's foremost authorities in getting top dollar for whatever you're selling. In this interview, you'll learn how to stop racing your competitors to bankruptcy court and start selling at prices that are actually earning you a profit. You'll learn why business is a game of margins, not volume. Why competing on price might be a surefire way to run your business into the ground. Why your problem isn't your competition, it's your thinking. And you'll learn the truth about why people buy. Only one reason is based on price. You'll also learn other proven strategies for selling based on value rather than price. You'll learn how to price products and services correctly in the first place and how to withstand pressure to cut prices. This interview is 58 minutes. It's something you want to listen to several times. We've got a lot to cover, and I know you're going to enjoy it, so let's get going. Any idiot can give stuff away by cutting the other guy's price. Selling occurs when your prices are higher, but you are still able to close the deal. If you want to give stuff away, get a job at the welfare department. If you want to learn how to sell at high prices, learn some of your material given at your seminars. It's about making money by selling. Is that what selling at higher prices is?
Well, it is, in my opinion. The interesting thing about the concept of selling at high prices, just about any sales rep you talk to thinks they sell at high prices, but very few of them do. You know, somebody's got the highest price in the country, but most salespeople really feel that their prices are higher than anyone else's, which leads to another kind of conundrum for sales managers, if you will. Most pressure in most companies cut price comes from the sales force, not from the customer. And if you don't believe that, let me state it a little differently. Virtually all resistance to raising price comes from the sales force. Sales reps start complaining about a price increase before they even talk to the customer about it. So people think they're selling at high prices, but they really, for the most part, don't like to. Now, I shouldn't say maybe even the most part. Many salespeople feel their prices are a whole lot higher than their competitors when indeed they are not, and they spend all their time beating up the boss trying to get the boss to let them cut the customer a deal. Good salespeople do sell at prices that are higher than their competitors, and they're oblivious to their competition, but their competitors' lower prices certainly don't handicap them getting a sale.
If price were the only reason anybody bought anything, we wouldn't need salespeople. What do you mean by that?
Well, it's true. Just think it through logically. If price were the only reason anybody bought anything, only one seller would sell all there is that's sold of whatever that stuff is, and that's whoever could survive the longest at the lowest price till everybody else went broke. And that doesn't happen. And then, of course, the second thing, if price is the only reason anybody bought anything, we don't need sales reps. You know, in today's electronic world, we can handle all sales transactions electronically. And I'm not really even talking about using a computer. I'm talking a fax machine. You know, a computer can answer a phone. A fax machine, here comes an order, if price were the only condition. And what I'm driving at there really is this. I mean, this is for the mentality of the salesperson. Salespeople hear customers say things to them like, price is the only thing we look at. Price is the only condition. It's got to be the lowest price. Well, if that was true, how could anybody sell anything at a premium price? And yet we see things being sold all the time at premium prices. And you don't have to look very far for any examples. But the basic thing is that buyers make good liars. They are incredibly good at telling other people, that is salespeople, that they can get the same thing down the street for less money. And they're not telling the truth. And we can talk a little later about how can you tell when somebody's lying other than their lips are moving, which is almost a certain indicator. But there's really some answers to that in terms of how can you tell when someone is lying about having a sweeter deal. But fundamentally what they're trying to do is beat up the sales rep to get them to cut their own price. And price cutting is a self-inflicted wound. Price cutting is something the salesperson, the selling company, organization does to itself. Competition does not cut your price. If you think your competitor's the one who's cutting your price or your competitor's the one who keeps you from raising price, why don't you just call up your competitor and ask them if it's all right with them if you raise your price? And I got a funny feeling they'll say, go for it. So much of this game is salespeople just, I don't know, maybe they just don't want to work very hard at selling, is I think some of it.
Do you think a lack of marketing and a lack of marketing understanding with most businesses out there only give businesses one option to sell, and that's to sell on price because they don't know how to sell on anything else?
Sure. You know, the easy thing to do is cut the price. But, again, what you will find out, and this is predicated in tons of research that I've done and numerous other people, most businesses go broke in the United States. Let me give you some statistics. 16 out of 17 businesses that start U.S. fail, most in the first couple of years of their existence. Average life expectation, all business in the United States, just at 7.5 years. In fact, one of the lines I use in another program is if your business is not 8 years old, the odds are it never will be. And that's a mathematical certainty. It's just true as if I say if your little body is not 80 years old, the odds are it never will be. Average life expectation for people in our society is not 80 years. For the ladies, it's more like 79. For men, it's more like 74, 75. But statistically, we'll all be boxed up and buried before we're 80 years old. And statistically, a business dead and gone before it's 8. Now, you've got to analyze why do businesses go broke. And they either do go broke or they just go out of business because they're not making any money. I mean, when's the last time you heard somebody go out of business because they were making money like a bandit? They just couldn't hide all the money they're making. When businesses quit, it's because it isn't any fun, and it isn't any fun because they're not making any money. Okay, most businesses that do go broke cutting price. There are three things that almost always herald the failure of a business. And I'm not talking small business. I'm talking large business. We'll get into that in a minute. One thing is declining gross margin. Gross margin only goes down because your selling price is too low relative to your cost. The second condition is wages as a percentage of sales increasing. And the third condition, surprisingly, is sales volume increase. Now, a lot of people say, well, how can that be? Well, to put it simply, when a business gets into trouble, and let's talk about trouble in a business. Trouble comes when you can't pay your bills.
Hi, it's Michael Senoff with HardToFindSeminars.com. Thanks for watching this video. You know, many of my interviews last 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, sometimes even up to 2.5 hours long. They're actual mini seminars, and you've just listened to a short sample of just one of over 117 hours of exciting, hard-hitting, mind-blowing interviews on how to make money in direct mail, advertising, copywriting. I assure you, there is not a resource anywhere on the internet or on the planet that comes close to the free information I provide at hardtofindseminars.com. So go right now to hardtofindseminars.com, and you'll have free access to 117 hours of audio interviews with typed word-for-word downloadable transcripts and downloadable MP3 files. Please browse some more of the videos or go right directly to hardtofindseminars.com. Thanks for watching.